D major scale uses two sharps, the C sharp and the F sharp. I personally like to build up from 4 simple chords, and this is what we're going to start with. I'm Laura Saggers, and I'm the piano professor for professorate.com. This is Piano for Beginners, Lesson 5, Basic Counting. Look at what I've presented to you. If you look at the piece of music, you got 3 lines. First of all, we're going to start off with 2/4 counting. That means, in the time signature, 2 beats per bar. So, you see those 2 crotchets, and then the bar line, and then the minim. The bar line, 2 crotchets, bar line, minim. End of bar marks. So, using your thumb or whatever finger you want, choose one note on the piano, any note you want. I'm going to be boring and choose middle C. You're more than welcome to choose another. Stick with that one note and try and count and play at the same time. So, let's start. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That was easy. Let's try with 3 beats per bar. As you can see from the time signature, it says 3/4, which you know now means 3 beats per bar. Try and play along. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to look at a piece which is 4/4. Time and signature of 4 beats per bar. So, do you think you can play along? Have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you'll see with the time signatures, the top note tells you how many beats per bar. That means how many beats you're going to be adding up to for each bar. So if it says 4, you always have to reach 4 with each bar. If it says 3, you're always going to be reaching 3. If you find that you're counting 6 or 5 when it says 3, you know that you're counting wrong. Yeah, I think you should recheck it. Secondly, with lesson 5, we're going to look at the staff. Take a look. Here you'll see where middle C is actually written on the staff. This is an indication of where you are going to be looking at to play. Middle C is the only note underneath the treble clef with a black note with a line going through the middle of it. That is what we call middle C. The line represents an invisible line, almost as if you had another line going underneath the staff, but they don't draw it in, because then it would just be lines upon lines upon lines. The further you go down the keyboard, the more lines you're going to have to draw. So they just draw tiny lines whenever you need one for the note. How many lines are in a staff? Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines and 4 spaces. That is what makes up a staff. If you take a look at the treble clef, remember the sign that indicates the right hand or any notes above the middle C? You'll see that there's a little tail right in the middle of the treble clef, and it circles the second line from the bottom of the staff. That second line is G, and any note that's on that second line is called G. That's why sometimes the treble clef can sometimes be called the G clef. Take a look at the bass clef. There's a tiny little sort of circle bit just before it starts to curl. If you notice, that curls around the second line from the top of the staff on the left hand. That second line is F, and that is sometimes why the bass clef is called the F clef. So where would you write your C for the left hand? Take a look. There are 4 spaces, and the first space at the bottom, the second space is C. You don't really need to know about the other spaces yet. Just take it into your mind that the second space up is always going to be C, lower C. And that is where we've been putting our pinky all this time. So now you know where your C's are on the staff, and this is your first notes of real music that you've ever played. So play them together, C and lower C. Lesson 5 continued. Your first 5 notes. So, let's have a recap. We have our staff, 5 lines, 4 spaces, with the treble clef circling the G line. What's that black note with the line through it? It's middle C. So let's put our thumb on it. Middle C, with thumbs up for 1, down on middle C. Those first 5 notes we've been playing in the past pieces, we're going to play them now. And you can see them on the notes. C, D, E, F, G. And you take a look. You see that G? It's on the second line. Use your finger and follow it all the way across. And you'll see that that's exactly which circles the line that the treble clef is covering. So those are your first 5 notes in the right hand. So your first 5 notes in the left hand. They're exactly the same. They're just positioned differently. Remember where lower C is? Let's put your pinky on lower C. Do you remember? It's the second space up from the bottom of the staff. So, C, D, E, F, G. Now what note did we say was similar to the bass clef? The F. Run your finger along the F, all the way. You see? That's where the bass clef is almost circling. And that's why it's sometimes called the F clef. Let's play these 5 notes together. C, D, E, F, G. And those are your first 5 notes in the left hand. Let's have a recap. Treble clef goes over the G line, the second line up from the staff on the right hand. The bass clef covers the F line, the second line down from the left hand staff. First 5 notes, C, D, E, F, G. You should now be able to read them in the right hand and the left hand. I'm Nora Sagas, and I'm the piano professor for professorate.com. This is Piano for Beginners, Lesson 5.